Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and I'm coming to you today with another exciting edition of Ask An Aquarius. Okay, so I always say, if you gotta ask somebody, you might as well ask an Aquarius, because 9 times out of 10, we have an answer. All right, so I got a message from a woman, and she said that she's Aquarius, and she considers herself to be a dark Aquarius. She said that she's always in trouble. She's always starting some crap. She's young. She's only 27 years old. She's always starting some crap. She's always in a fight, argument, basically. She done bust out a couple windows, slashed some tires, got arrested once for assault. She's had some pretty rough things go down. And she said that she's at the point in her life where she feels she's crying all the time, she's depressed, she's anxious, and she feels like the things that she's doing are not really helping her. And they're not helping her, in any way. She's not getting anything from it. Even her plots and schemes that go well, in her opinion, don't really produce any fruit, you know? So she was saying that she wanted me to tell her, can a dark Aquarius or a gray Aquarius, which would be in the middle, become a light Aquarius, become, a positive Aquarius? Is it possible that she can go from doing these things to not doing these things and being a better person? Now, I've told you guys a lot of my story. I went from being gray to as light as I can be, as light as a feather now. So definitely so. This is the thing. Everybody has free will. When you're in the Christian church, you learn the term free will. And when you're in other systems, they use the term free will as well. Free will is often referred to as the freedom to choose how to worship God, Goddess, all that is, or not. So that's usually what it is, like your freedom to pick a spiritual system, your freedom to not believe in God, your freedom to not pick a spiritual system. God and Goddess, creator, whatever you want to call the supreme being, does not make us worship, does not make us have a relationship with him or her. That's the free will part. You can have the relationship if you want to, and if you don't want to, then that's on you. That's your soul's evolution. So what she was saying was, she was like, can this occur? And I'm like, yeah, well, based on free will, yeah, it can. Because free will is what I just stated, but free will is also your ability to choose if your soul evolves or not. So it's not just a relationship with you and creator. It's if you choose to be a dark person or not. If you choose to be a positive person or not. That's another part of free will. You get to choose. You get to choose all of that. So if you're dark today or gray today, you don't have to be that tomorrow unless that's what you choose. You can be light today and not light tomorrow. It's all up to what you choose. So basically, to answer her question, you can change. You can be a better person. I mean, some of us have experiences that knock us into being a better person. Like I always tell the story of Paul on the road to Damascus. Paul is on the road to Damascus, gets knocked off his horse, has some kind of a vision of an energy being, an angel or something like that, and then says, oh my goodness, I've been persecuting Christians and I'm going to stop, and now I'm going to be a Christian and I'm going to be a prophet and I'm going to promote the good word of God. In my case, I went through a horrible situation, was at the bottom, at my emotional bottom, and the Divine Mother came and saved me, and I dedicated my life to being with her. So those are extreme cases, though. In a lot of cases it's not that extreme. For Aquarius, we're already spiritually inclined from birth, so some of the times it doesn't take that much. Some of the times it's just a decision that I don't like what I'm doing. Just like like the same way you're telling me I don't like what I'm doing, just tell yourself I don't like what we're doing and I want to change it, and then do the work to change it. Because the thing about it is that it starts with that. It starts with that commitment. Not just, I want to change. I'm thinking about changing. I was saying that for like, oh my God. I was saying that for almost a decade. I want to change. I want to be a better person. But it was always like off in the distance. Like, I want to do it. I'm going to do it one day. I knew it was going to happen one day. That's one thing. And it was like, oh, I want to do this. I had the books I needed. I had everything I needed to heal and change, but was not using it. It was just sitting there waiting for me to get ready for it. So that's why I said, yeah, you at any given time you can make that decision. It's only a commitment to doing it. You don't have to wait for your life to fall apart like I did for you to step up and change things. It could start today. Right now, today, you could say, you know what? I don't like what I'm doing and I want to change it. Right now, today, you can just decide. And when you make that decision, you can commit to growth, commit to change, and every day work in that direction. Now, mind you, depending upon how much treachery and trouble we're talking about, this could take more time and effort than others. Some people, like myself, are going to work on this for a long time and heal in layers. You're going to level up, basically. And some people may work on it, might not be that bad, and they might work on it for a certain amount of time and be in a really good space. Now, this young lady that asked the question, I really think that based on how much treachery she says she's been up to, I think it might take her a little bit more time than others, but it's doable if that's the commitment that she wants to make. And it is worth the commitment to change your whole life and have a better life. So how do you do this? Well, basically, you just make a decision that number one, you're going to make the commitment. Number two, find out what is causing you to be this way. What has gone wrong inside of you? This is how you evolve. You have to ask yourself that question. You have to be honest with the answers. What is it? Were you molested? Were you neglected? Have you some kind of mental health issues that you were born with, maybe? Do you have trauma, PTSD, things that happen along the way? You have to figure out what is the problem. A lot of people that come to me and get readings, that's what they want to know. It's like, what is going on with me? Is it a generational curse? Like what is happening to me? That's what they come and ask me. And that's what we do in the reading. Or you can go to a psychiatrist or a therapist or whatever the case is. You can do this any kind of way that you want to, but basically you need to be evaluated to figure out what is going on with you. Or you can use self-help books and figure it out yourself. But there's something going wrong inside of you, and you got to figure out what that something or some things is. And once you figure out exactly what is wrong with you, your next step is to find healing methods. So let's say, for example, your heart chakra is damaged because you have PTSD from a bad relationship with your father, your mother, and your lover. One of your lovers, okay? So what you need to do now is you need to forgive. You need to release. You need to go to therapy. You need to work on your heart chakra. And working on your heart chakra is a lot of different methods. Some people will use a rose quartz yoni egg. A female may use a rose quartz yoni egg. One of the things I did when I first started working on my heart chakra was I got amulets. And I enchanted them. This one right here you're getting ready to see is rhodonite. It is for the heart chakra, to heal the heart chakra. And this one here is green aventurine, again, to heal and balance the heart chakra. So I wear these almost all the time. I only take them off if I change my jewelry, for an event or for a reading or for, a video, or if I just want to wear some different jewelry. Because I have a lot of costume jewelry I like to rock sometimes with the real jewelry, or not real jewelry, whatever the case may be. So I wear these a lot, and I have a lot of these. I have ones for protection and different amulets for different things. I've sold these to people. Usually I just buy the jewelry from a jeweler and then I enchant it and then I sell it. You know, I do that all the time. I just sold one recently to a young lady, a rose quartz for her heart chakra. So that's one way, okay, as far as the heart chakra is concerned. So you have to figure out what is going on, and then, like I said, figure out healing methods. How do you figure out which healing methods to use? There are so many healing methods. When it was my turn to do them, I just did whatever ones I learned, you know, like for instance with the heart chakra. As I was researching, I kept finding different crystals, different methods. One of the things I learned was just reading about healing, emotional healing. I just kept on researching and looking for things, because if you're trying to heal yourself in this kind of way and become a better person, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. Your therapist will give you ideas. They'll give you books to read a lot of times. My therapist gave me books to read, or told me, you know, titles that might be beneficial. Somebody might mention a title of a book, or, you know, I might talk to somebody and they might mention a healing method. They might mention an oil, an herb, a meditation, a crystal, and whatever. And I would be like, oh, okay, I'm going to try that, you know, and I would. I would go try it. I just learned lots of them. I would research it, then I would go try it. I did emotional healing spells. I did all kinds of different things over the years, and it just kept leveling me up, to where I am now. And I'm still doing things. I was working with Kuan Yin cards the other day. Kuan Yin is all about healing, emotional healing, being more compassionate, being more forgiving. I was just working with her just yesterday. So taking courses, little workshops about things, about healing and things like that. And when you heal something, you can then move on to the next thing, you know? So if you have, like, for instance, I had really bad depression for a long time. Once I was able to lift the depression, then I moved on to dealing with the anxiety. Once I dealt with the anxiety, I moved on to the next thing. So you just keep on moving through until you get to where you want to be, basically. You know, if you're not certain and you're confused about all of this, you talk to a professional. That's when you talk to me. That's when you talk to another kind of professional, such as a therapist would be a good one. A good therapist can help with a lot of these things. A good spiritual leader can too. The problem is that we all don't have a good spiritual leader. Some people will go to, they'll go to their pastor or a minister, or they'll go to a priestess, or they'll go to somebody from any faith, pick it. Every faith has people in that faith that represent that faith that aren't that great. So a lot of people will go to somebody and it won't be a good experience. It could be a false guru. It could be any of those things. So you got to be really careful who you go to. So you have to research. You have to look and see. So all of this takes commitment. It takes commitment. It's first committing to the change. Then it's a commitment to finding somebody to help you evaluate what's really going on. And then it's a commitment to following healing methods. And then it's a commitment to consistently using those healing methods. Because a lot of people I've worked with, I met somebody, I'm going to tell you about this woman I met. She had everything. She had all the books I've ever looked at or recommended. She had a bookcase full of emotional healing stuff. She had every crystal known to man. She had herbs. She had oils. She had all kinds of stuff. She had been to different lectures and workshops. She had all kind of stuff, but she was not healing. And when I was like, something ain't right with this, because you got all the stuff that you need. It's like having a toolbox. Well, why can't you fix the door? You got the whole toolbox. And what I found out was that she wasn't using the tools. She had all this stuff. It was all over her place, and it looked really nice stuff, expensive stuff in some cases, but she wasn't using it consistently. She was doing a meditation on the full moon, or, something here and there. And it's like, that's not enough. You have to do this every day, a couple of times a day in some cases. When I first started, I was praying and lighting my candles every single day. I was reading something every single day. I was journaling, and when I started doing my cards, I started journaling and doing one card, or maybe sometimes 3 cards every single day. Like, this is an everyday process. The same way you got here every day by messing up every day, you got to get out of here by doing right every day. And then gradually you level up. Okay, so that's a big part of it, and that's all it is. It's just a decision to do it and then going for it. It's just a decision to do it and then going for it, just doing it, you know. So, yes, you absolutely can go from being negative to positive, gray to positive. If that's what you want to do. Like I said, you have the free will to do that. You have the free will to fuck up, and you have the free will to do well. It's up to you. I think it would behoove you to do well, though, and to make a commitment to changing, because some of the time it depends on your soul's evolution. Like in my case, I didn't make the commitment to changing, so my soul was like, I want to evolve and you're going to evolve. So it drew to me this situation that made me evolve. So I think it's best if you can just do it on your own, because you never know what that's going to be. So I would recommend, if you're dark or gray and you want to step away from it, I would recommend that you do it on your own and don't wait for the universe to decide, or for your soul, your higher self to decide it's time, because you have more of control over it if you just do it yourself. Okay? So another thing is that you have to use this information practically. And what I mean by that, you can learn all the spiritual information in the world. It doesn't help you if you do not use it every day in a practical kind of way. What do I mean by that? It doesn't help you at all to sit and read about compassion and not try to exercise compassion. Okay? This is the other part to this. Some people will read about the law of attraction. They'll read about compassion. They'll read about divine feminine. They'll read about all these things I'm talking about, but they don't practically apply them to their life. If you don't practically apply what you've learned, and this is in any class you take, the school of life or an actual workshop, any class you take, you have to apply what you've learned. Okay? You learn it, then you apply it in every case. I don't care what kind of situation you're in. So if you learn all these things, if you learn about compassion, if you learn about stepping away from negativity, and then go around the corner and bust out your baby mother window, your baby mom windows, or your ex-husband's windows in his car, or you cuss out your aunt for being whatever she is, you're not applying what you're learning. And you're not going to be perfect at first. I stumbled through all these spiritual lessons. I was like, I stumbled through all of them. It took me 8 years to finish priestess training. And priestess training should not have taken me that long. Some people take longer, some people take less. There really is no time frame to it. But it took me 8 years because I kept stumbling. I kept falling down. I kept trying and falling down. I try to be compassionate. Somebody make me mad, I cuss them out. Just the other day, I was dealing with a situation with a client, and she pissed me off, and I wanted to choke her. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I'm not dealing with this woman ever again. And something said, be compassionate. I heard it loud. Be compassionate. And I was like, okay. So I took my fire down, and I said, okay. I finished what I had to do. We were working together. I finished what I had to do, and I moved on. But I wanted to cuss her out, But they was like, be compassionate. So you have to apply what you learned, and certain lessons are going to be more difficult than others. I got a lot of other lessons faster than I'm still working on compassion, because I am compassionate. The Aquarius is born compassionate. We're humanitarians, but I also got a bad temper. So I have to, deal with that balance, bad temper versus compassion. Somebody irked me or pissed me off, but I got to be compassionate, or when should I be compassionate? When should I tell them off? When is it that time for tough love? Like, I go through that sometimes. And that's my personal, that's my personal thing that I'm dealing with right now. So like I said, they're not easy. You just keep on stumbling through them until you perfect them, just like you would anything else. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's how you evolve from one energy to a next, if you want to do so. I try to make these videos as short as possible. They're usually about 20 minutes. I try to make them as short as possible. I want you guys to know that. But the topics that I'm covering are very difficult to do in 5 minutes. I would love to give you 7-minute videos once a day, but it's almost impossible. Once I start to write down my little notes, it's like, if I don't mention that, then I got to mention it. So it makes it more difficult to me. So I try to break down my topics in pieces to make it as small as possible. So thank you for hanging in there with me and watching my 20-something minute videos. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. Please share the videos with anybody you think that will benefit from them. And thank you all. Somebody said to me the other day that I reminded her of Oprah. Thank you, because I smiled about that all morning. And thank you all so much. I saw earlier today that I had like 950 something subscribers. I started with 6 people, all 6 I knew personally. And to talk to more people and to reach more people makes me feel good. It makes me feel really good, especially if it helps. And somebody had mentioned to me the other day that the videos are really helping her heal. And I was like, wow, if just one person heals from what I have to say, that is phenomenal. You know, I hope it's many more than one, but even if it is just one, that's phenomenal. You know, that means that everything I went through to change myself was worth it for me and now for others. So this is Queen Set Haru. Be good to yourself and be good to each other. I will see you next week. Deuces.